So I'm just waiting for Amber from Love is Blind 2026 to come online. My question ready. Key things are we want to know what's the truth about her treatments. Is she willing to be forthcoming with the treatments that she's had done or not had done? Are the speculations around her having her lips dissolved true? I mean, I'll be honest, I do think that she has had filler and the filler hasn't gone, but she's just had her muscles relax and it's dropped her lip. So yeah, I'm just going to ask her some nice questions. We're going to get into it. I mean, I've watched Love is Blind, absolutely love the show. I mean, who doesn't love? Let me introduce you first, because this is Amber
Sure.
Morrison from Love is Blind Series 10, and she's come onto our podcast to talk to us about hopefully your cosmetic treatments, what you've had or not had, and about your relationship with Jordan on Love is Blind. So, first, tell me a little bit, because my husband and I love watching Love is Blind, and it was really nice to watch your story. Tell us a little bit about what's happened with the two of you.
So it was a lot. I felt like after filming was done, well, first of all, let me back that up. At the wedding, it was like the most fantastic moment of my life. Like I felt like it was in a fairy tale. And then at the wedding, he was like, I'm going to move to Mount Vernon and I'm considering Emma and everything like that. And then, we get past the wedding and I'm barely seeing him. He's coming up maybe like once a week. I just didn't feel like he was really giving a good effort. He never did end up moving in. He tries to say it was because we fought all the time. We had like 3 fights that were major deals. Like we had so many good weekends together. Like we went to New Orleans together, had great weekends. Went to 4 other weddings where we didn't fight at all and had good weekends. Went up to Cleveland for a weekend, which was great. Never fought. Went to a lake house with his family for a weekend, never fought once. He came to my daughter's birthday party. We didn't fight. So he kind of tries to make it seem like it was this totally toxic vibe at the reunion, which I was very taken aback by because I really didn't feel that way that much at all. But I did find concerns that, he didn't really want to come and spend time up here. It just seemed like he would be, kind of pushing me off and whenever, and it kind of made me feel like I didn't really trust him at one point. And then anytime I would kind of bring it up and bring up my concerns, he would just push it back. Like, that's because you have trust issues from your past relationships, blah, blah. And it was like, no, I
Mm,
am not feeling a vibe here that you even want to be around at all. I don't
ah,
know what's going on. So then he kind of used it as a pivoting point to just up and leave. I mean, within like the
yeah.
3 to 4 months later. And then at the reunion, we hadn't really talked since he left about anything. I let him leave. I was like, you know what? If a man leaves you, don't go chasing for him. You know what I mean? Let him be. So I really hadn't talked to him at all. I had seen him at a mixer at one point in like October that the cast and us had, wasn't on film or anything. And he came up and gave me like a hug, like it was an old friend. It was kind of weird, but I thought we were like on good terms. And then when I saw him at the reunion for the first time, he had such a shift in like his vibe towards me and then didn't even acknowledge me before we were going on stage. And then we got on stage. It was just, I don't know. I
Mm,
felt he was twisting things a lot and kind of coming at me and trying to like kind of humiliate me, which I didn't expect from him at all. I've never seen that side. So I was like
yeah,
sitting
I
there.
didn't think that that would happen. Yeah.
I know. I was like
Oh,
sitting there, my face is like, I'm about to like bust, ready to cry. So I do end up having to like walk out at one point. I think, which is, everybody's like, she's crazy. It's like, you have no idea what it was like to be in front of like 200 people and like be
yeah, and
like,
being rubbed.
yeah, and having to face my ex-husband for the first time. So, that being said, I took a lot of hate online. It's fine. They have hated on me forever for everything. I don't care. The people that love me love me. So, you
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. Well, we love you anyway here.
thank you. So it is what
I
it
mean, how
is.
do you
But
feel watching yourself back?
um, you know, for the most part during the show, I felt pretty good about it. I mean, there were times when I was like nervous and silly at first in the pods, and there were times where we were always at kind of drinking events. So obviously we got a little bit loose during those times. I'm like, yeah, I probably should have showed up better for that. But I mean, overall, looking back throughout the show, I thought I was pretty true to like who I was for sure.
That's good. I mean, that's the hard thing, I suppose, isn't it? The good thing is being yourself online or being yourself on the show and being confident in your conviction of how you were, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I take it
So
because everybody's like, you must be so toxic, blah, blah. If I was that toxic, like, how would I have a great relationship with the father of my child? I have a great relationship with all my friends and family without any drama or turmoil. Like,
he met Jordan. Is
oh,
that
yeah,
right?
they loved each other. They,
Amazing.
yeah, they went out together. Matt came over for Easter with us, like helped us cook a ham. You know, we invited his grandparents over, like his grandparents. Matt was raised by his grandparents. So they met Jordan, gave him hugs. We broke bread with them. Like, I have a great
Yeah.
relationship with her father.
Yeah, so it's not nice being labeled as something that you know that
Yeah,
you're not.
absolutely.
Yeah, so obviously people are commenting about your behavior, but what about the comments about your appearance? What surprised you the most about that?
I was ready for it. So kind of during the show and right after, I noticed my skin changing and my hair. I don't know. It was this crazy experience. It started happening a couple months before the show, but it was very subtle and I didn't really notice it too much. I had had some like life stressors at the time. My grandmother died and my uncle died in the same month. And then I was really, really stressed at work trying to like figure out if I could do the show and everything. And I was just really sad and emotional about that. And all of a sudden, my hair started all falling out. So I was like, it's probably just stress. It's probably just anxiety. And my skin was getting like super, super oily for some reason. I remember multiple times on the show, they were handing me those like oil pads. And I was like, I don't know. I have not changed my skincare routine or anything. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. Chalk it up to, I couldn't even think about it at the time. We had so much going on. It was just kind of like trying to get through it. And then it was about July after the show. My skin ended up like this right here. This is why I didn't wear makeup, so you could kind of see. Was all swollen. This up in here was swollen and like leaking out. My eyebrows were all puffy and leaking out. My cheeks were like that. Everything was like going crazy. My hair still kept falling out. And so initially we thought it was just maybe like a cellulitis infection. It was so bad. I was like, I don't know. I must have got touched a
Mm.
patient and then wiped something on my face or something like that. Like it was terrible. So we did a round of antibiotics, calmed it down a little bit, but didn't bring it back to baseline, flared right back up. It was horrible. I don't even have pictures of it. So it
Did
was
you
like
find
kind
out
of
where it was?
I did down the line. So my like face was completely swollen right around here too, and like my chin and jawline and everything. So another round of antibiotics, a round of antifungals. I ended up on like 7 different antibiotic treatments, like antifungal cream, antibiotic cream, and then we finally did some more testing a couple months down the road, and I was in like a hyperandro. I can never say that right. And I'm in medical. Basically, my androgens were going crazy due to like excess cortisol and everything. It created this response. So it was almost like a PCOS response, but a little bit different. So I had these like cysts like right here, like right here going in here, like all of my forehead and like
Yeah.
right up here and then all throughout like my scalp, which was making my hair fall out. So they put me on spironolactone, like started me at 50 milligrams and then bumped me up to 100 milligrams plus like a tretinoin cream to put all over my face and everywhere. And that first month was rough. They ended up upping me to 100 milligrams of spironolactone. When I tell you, I woke up every day and I was a snake. Like the most disgusting skin was peeling off of me as like
Wow.
this was
Because
coming
we
to
didn't see
surface.
that on the show, did we? Because that must have
No.
resolved before you started. Right.
So, and this was actually the terrifying part. I was in the peak of like the bad part in February. And you can see where it all came to surface and started like breaking out. I didn't wear makeup today because you can see on my forehead where it's still like, if I go
Mm.
like that, still healing, like right up here.
Yeah.
I ended up having to shave off that part of my hair because it was just full of like infected skin.
That's true.
So you can kind of like see that, but it's regrowing
Yeah.
and we're good. Like same with that portion. It was kind of like in my neck area too. So I think when people think, and don't get me wrong, I've had Botox and a couple years ago I had some filler like in the cheek line. I've done Sculptra before. I had lip filler in the past. Obviously, I got my boobs done. I mean, listen, after I had Emma and I got done breastfeeding, they were like rocks and socks, okay?
Oh, your figure looks amazing, by the way. So,
Like,
yeah.
so I love my fake titties. But yeah, so I'm 4 months, I think 4 months now into the overall treatment of this horrible hormonal response and definitely
Right.
seeing significant
The
progress. There's still
changes.
areas. What happened really with my lips, you can kind of see, it's hard to zoom in. You can see where it's actually
Oh, so like, so
Small.
you've got like almost like a cyst here.
Yeah, there, it's like right above my lip.
So that does that correlate with the changes before and after the show? So obviously you look different at the reunion from the show.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of speculation. People were saying, "Oh, she's had her lip fillers dissolved," and and I went online saying, "Look, I don't think that that's actually true."
No, you can actually see. So my lip is kind of hidden. This is getting a lot better, but you can see like up here where it's like bringing it down still. And you can see like
Yeah.
right here in this mid nose area, there's a cyst that's slowly going down too. So that's actually been
Oh,
significantly
bless you.
swelling.
So, because my thought was that maybe you'd had muscle relaxing injections and that had actually made it drop. But actually, what you're saying is it was the swelling and the swelling here that's making
Yeah,
it.
because you can see like this area is still very
Oh,
cysticky.
well,
And then
thank you for
this
clearing that up and sharing it because that's a lot to share, isn't it?
This right
Yeah.
here too. So it's like it kind of pulls everything. But like I said, it's so much better than what it was. And it's slowly going away. They told me it'd probably take at least 6 months for everything to really heal and get back to normal.
And sometimes when people are unwell and they've got inflammation, actually, we know that you can get inflammation around where you've got filler.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So
Okay,
I'm
so that
also
sounds
like
like
working with a med spa. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word there.
yeah.
So they just on Friday did a clear silk and a BBL treatment. And we're
Excellent.
gonna kind of continue to do a lot of like skin therapy. I'm on a skin regimen right now to try to help with like clearing the inflammation. Still doing the tretinoin. I'm definitely not waking up like a like a snake anymore. So I know the worst part is off, is over because
Yeah.
it's
Well
like
done for going through that because that's the hardest bit, isn't
absolutely. So that was
it?
what was hard too, is because like because of spironolactone and because of the tretinoin, my skin also sagged completely horribly and was like I looked like a shriveled up, like I can't even explain it.
Can't imagine
Um,
that.
and I had to put like the
So
lightest moisturizer on because it's like you don't want to clog it up with like more oils or
no,
anything.
this is
So
true.
when people are like, shit that out, I'm like, I don't give a shit right now. I'm just glad all of this stuff is going down.
So tell me, what's your approach then? Normally, what's your approach to aesthetic treatments? Because you said you've had sculpture, you've had filler in your cheeks. People have speculated about because you have volume loss here. But I think, I don't know if you've lost a bit of weight that's making this look.
Oh yeah, when I was on the antibiotics, I literally threw up almost every night for like it was a good like 2 months. It was terrible. I lost 15 pounds.
So what's your approach then with regards to treatments usually? So let's say before you were unwell.
So I did Halo before, which I loved, even though it was the most painful thing I've ever done in my entire
Oh,
life.
what's that? I don't know if we have that in the UK. What's that?
Oh, okay. So it's a both ablative and non-ablative laser.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, I think I know then. Yeah.
So it goes like pretty deep down. The healing process is pretty rough. It's a good 5 days. And I also did it with a BBL laser. So that really, really helped with like pigmentation. My skin looked gorgeous after I did that. It was amazing. That was probably a year prior to the show. However, it is a spicy treatment. Even with face numbing on, I was like, butt was clenched,
Yes.
unstable.
Yeah, some of the ablative ones usually are, aren't they?
I know. I felt like Satan was coming out of my face by the end of it.
Now tell me now, what was it like with regards to makeup? Because we know that changes in light and movement, and even I was thinking like even when you were stressed, maybe you were holding your mouth tight maybe during the show. Like how have all of those things had a difference? Because like your lips look really nice and crisp when I look back at pictures of you during the show. Like how do they all have an effect on how it looked? Or was well, I'll let you explain that
Oh,
part
I'm sure.
first.
I'm sure I was sitting there like that for a lot of the time. I was like literally trying not to bawl. I did end up bawling off stage, but it was like trying to just kind of gulp back everything. I think that's why my cheeks look so different because I was sitting there like trying to kind of keep everything together. And not to do like a pity on me thing, which I'm totally not, but I imagine my face was like completely tense in that moment. Especially when
Yeah,
the like light is shining on you too. And we were in front of like 200 people. And
yeah.
it was just like such a humiliating experience that I was like, okay, try to make my face not, you know.
Not contort. So what about the makeup? Did they do your makeup on the show?
So we had somebody else like we hired people to do our makeup, which she did a good job, but I think it was really hard because my skin was like so dry and not taking the makeup well at all.
Right. Okay.
So everything I had like put on, I've been, oh my gosh, I can barely wear makeup now, but it's definitely it looks a lot better when I do. But anything I put on when, well, especially when it was in that state, it almost looked like it completely caked, and it caked to like the drier skin too that had not peeled off of my face that was healing. So like makeup was a train wreck, but
So can I just go back to the antibiotics time? When were you being sick? So I'm just wondering when you lost weight.
I would say the most was in like September, October.
Was that before the show? Because I'm not sure when it was filmed.
No, this was after everything was filmed, but before the reunion.
Ah, right. Okay. That's good. That's good to know because that does explain a lot. How did you feel about the results of your filler treatments before then, all of the swelling and things like that?
Filler treatments, I feel like they've always been pretty good. It had been a while though since I really had anything done. So I think by
Yeah.
that time, most of it had been pretty dissolved from my understanding, because I think it's like a 12 to 18 month like time period
Yeah.
between those.
Yeah. Because on the show, I'll be honest, that your lips look gorgeous and crisp. So this swelling that we're seeing now really is from the cysts, from what you've explained.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
getting there though.
Yeah.
You kind of see it. I almost have like a skin mustache.
Ah,
Like that just lifts up, because
it
there's
will
also
get
like
better.
some
Yeah.
still like right here that like kind of attach down.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say? Because, of course, lots of my customers and women, I'm going to show this to my clients. What would you say to women who feel the pressure to change their appearance?
I feel like some people do try to go overboard and have like this look that is just not natural to them. You know, back when I was 28 is when I started getting like Botox, and that's the first time I ever got my lips done and everything.
How old are you now?
God, 35 almost, 34 and turning 35 in like 2 weeks.
Oh, you look amazing.
So yeah, when I was 28, that's when I first really started, and it can be kind of addicting. You know, you're like, oh, you look at pictures online, you're like, I want to look like, you know, the Kardashians with this. And it's like, if your face isn't built to look like a Kardashian's face, it's not going to look good on you. I think it's definitely amazing to do, like, if you want to do subtle things, like I wouldn't mind getting a lip treatment after this is like all healed up potentially, you know, to just like bring some life back to that. Again, I'm thinking I might someday see the results of the sculpture I paid so much for. I think the dermaplaning, microneedling, the different laser services, they are all super beneficial. As we live in like a very oxidative environment, you know, as you know, like a lot of air
Mm,
pollution, you
yeah.
know, we could be under no stress at all, but our skin is going to take on that wear and tear just because of like in the food, the things we drink, everything that I know like in the UK and Europe, it's definitely not as huge of an issue as it is in America. America is terrible about that. Our food quality is just very, very poor compared to other countries. I went to Europe with my brother actually back in November when all this was kind of going on. And when I was in Barcelona for a little bit, and then I was in Italy. And when I was eating there, I never felt bloated. We could walk. My skin was actually
Yeah.
starting to kind of have a
Yes,
little
the
bit of
low
a
in
healing
sugar, isn't it, in
response.
comparison?
Absolutely. Oh, the sugar here. I tell Americans, I'm like, we need to like stop, you know? And especially for people like me that grew up in the 90s, like we were children of the dye. Like I remember in my lunchbox, there was like always a snack that you could actually dye your tongue with and then eat. Like it was so
Yeah,
gross
all the
looking
E's in
back.
there. So,
Like
what's
I
your
would
advice to
never do
women
that.
who want treatment?
Women who want treatment, like there's so many treatments that are tailored to you. There's so many treatments that don't involve making your face different. And I feel like once you do start treatment in the right way, when you're not getting like obsessive over it or anything like that, and trying to like look like a different person, you start to take care of yourself a little bit more too, right? Because you're like, okay, I just did this treatment that I did spend good money on. So yeah, I don't want to start eating something that's gonna bloat my face up like a fish again, you know, or make my skin go crazy. We just took care of all this redness. Let me, you know, make sure I'm working out. Let me make sure I'm eating healthier, drinking plenty of water, and not, you know, drinking it as sugary substances, things like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm very for women getting treatment. We all want beautiful skin. We don't have to age poorly. And also to women out there, because there's a lot of women that suffer from different hormonal things, and, you know, firsthand, it is always worth it to try to like get that in check too.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
And
true.
places like, your med spa and everything that can help women balance that out. Women feel better when they look better. And I don't know if you do any like the hormone testing or anything like that, but
No, we don't. But in the UK, we can go to our general practitioner who should be supportive, but that's not always the case. But you are right.
yeah,
It's just looking at, I mean, because you're a nurse too, it's looking at the person as a whole, isn't it? And thinking, right, how can we think holistically about our health?
absolutely. Well, and to be quite honest, like people come to me about checking hormones all the time, and there's some I will like they always want their cortisol levels checked. And I'm like, it doesn't do me any good to check your cortisol level randomly. Like to get the most accuracy, I need like a 24-hour urine that is
Oh,
again
right.
like it's so much more of a process and it can be so inaccurate because our cortisol fluctuates so much throughout the day. So like it's really not I may not catch anything even if there is an issue, or I may, but you may be in a like high stress moment. Like unless you look like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and I think you have Cushing syndrome. Cortisol's like not where I go to originally, but I will check like women's testosterone levels, estradiol, different things like that, and see kind of where that fluctuation is.
Mhm.
17 progesterone, that's a really good one too, to see if everything's like balancing out, or is your testosterone actually like shooting through the roof when your estrogen and progesterone are low, and then you are having these more androgenic responses. Words I can't say.
Yes, do you know what? This is brilliant advice. Thank you so much, Amber, for coming on
Absolutely.
live with
Thank you
me.
for
I am
having me.
absolutely thrilled, and I'm so excited to tell my clients all about it.
Thank you so much for
Well,
having me.
stay in touch. If ever you're in the UK, please let me know. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.